the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People from 2007 places an obligation on member states to protect, preserve, and nurture Indigenous culture, traditions, knowledge with legislation, governance, and policy. Now, in the sad case of India, that is all placed or is available for external religions, external cultures. It's not available for the indigenous religion and culture. And that's why there are groups such as Equal Rights for Hindus that I support very strongly, who are trying to raise awareness of the fact that Hindus, our religion, our culture does not have equal rights, and people such as Nageshwar Raoji, Ritu Rathorji, doing excellent work to raise awareness of this and to try and change the situation. And yes, the result are these double standards between how other religions and cultures are treated versus how the indigenous Hindu culture and religion is treated in India. So, for example, Notre-Dame, the cathedral in Paris, when that caught fire a few years ago, there was an outpouring of grief from the mainstream media and celebrities in India. At the very same time that Notre-Dame caught fire, in those same few weeks, 7 temples in just Tamil Nadu caught fire, including the Meenakshi Amman temple in Madurai. And nobody even knows about it, let alone raises any money to help with the restoration. Other examples are how 1/4 of temple land in Andhra Pradesh has been encroached upon in recent years. And yet every time I go to India, when I go to visit now, I can only ever see churches on the most prime land, or Christian schools on the tops of hills with beautiful views out. And at the same time, 200,000 temples have been destroyed, is the estimate. And yet, again, every time I go to India, it seems like there's more and more churches. Even, for example, as you're driving down the highway, you'll just see church. And it's like nobody's even living here. Like who? Yeah. So I don't understand their purpose. There aren't the people to be filling these churches. It's almost, they're just symbols of conquest, essentially. And so, yes, these double standards, they would almost be laughable if it wasn't such a tragic situation. And other examples are, as you mentioned, the Hindu festivals being vilified, crackers, for example, being banned for Diwali on the basis of environmental impact, but crackers being allowed on other religious festivals, at cricket matches, at the weddings of celebrities, of Bollywood celebrities. And, I can see the consequences of this so clearly, because I really can feel how my Hindu family in India, my in-law family, they're getting so much more excited for Christmas each year. But this year, for Diwali, I only received one Diwali message from any friend or family in India. So you can see how their excitement for Diwali has been completely quashed. Or I've been hearing from Hindu parents about their children being sort of spoon-fed this idea of Diwali being damaging to the environment. They shouldn't really, celebrate it. But at the same time, their children are being asked by their teachers to buy these acrylic Christmas hats and wear them to school, or to ask their parents to buy a Christmas tree. And as you mentioned, the carbon footprint on those, I did some calculations over the Christmas period, the last Christmas period, and it's very, very massive, the carbon footprint of these acrylic red Christmas hats and acrylic Christmas trees, and just chopping down, natural trees as well. So there's that aspect. There's also, as you mentioned, with Eid, not to mention the environmental damage caused by that, and the absolutely senseless there's very senseless and very damaging suffering that it's causing to all of these animals. And the fact that PETA, the animal rights activists, felt the nerve to be telling Hindus that they shouldn't be wearing rakhi made from leather when they were relatively, mute on Eid, again, is showing these double standards. Or another example, in the temples, when the bureaucracy are interfering in the temple customs, and you see the support they're getting from people of other religions, where the hypocrisy of some of those situations is very, very stark. So this continual undermining of the Hindu festivals and the continuing bolstering of other religions, it's having some severe repercussions. So one very clear repercussion is the number of brazen attacks there are on temples and murtis at the moment. It's an everyday occurrence. In Andhra Pradesh, the Director General of the police there says that in 2020, just in Andhra Pradesh, there were 228 attacks on temples and murtis, and no culprits have been identified or brought to justice. Another example, no justice being delivered is when Anurag Padarji was shot dead just for celebrating Durga Puja in Munger, Bihar. So this is pure, cultural genocide, and it's a very, very, very serious situation. And it's not, as I say, not only directly causing physical genocide, but it's causing genocide of the Hindu culture and the religion, which is another form of genocide.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.